Well, good night. Thanks for joining me once again. I hope that you guys have been tuning in and that you have been watching the videos, leaving your comments, and giving me some feedback. I appreciate those who did. I made 2 attempts since tonight to upload a video regarding the review of Ready to Love, and unfortunately the voice or the audio was not so good on the two, and I did not realize that the audio was not working. So this is actually my third video that I'm uploading. The episode was very good tonight. I enjoyed it. I especially liked the part with Liz, David, and Goliath. We will talk about why I call him Goliath, but I think you guys already know. But the episode started off with nephew Tommy and his wife inviting the ladies to speak about where they were at regarding these men. And at this point, I'm kind of not feeling, the personalities or the makeup or whatever it is that these men are bringing. They are not giving what they were supposed to have given. These guys, they are acting so petty. But anyways, the ladies talk about the men and they oohs and they ahs about them. And of course, the host tells them that they are. Oh, before I get to that, I wanted to mention that every time Kyra comes on screen, she seems to be killing the wardrobe. Come on, Kyra in that yellow dress, she was bringing it. But I think Kyra need to give a little bit of advice to Alexis because Alexis clearly doesn't know how to dress. But I am kind of warming up to Alexis, especially in her meet up with her ex and Ron. She has a conversation with them, and from this conversation, it is clear that Alexis and Ron are not a good fit for each other. First of all, Ron is looking for someone to stay at home and be there to care and build a family with. Alexis, on the other hand, she says she's a career woman. She has no time to be at home really, and she doesn't cook. Her ex is telling us that she does not cook. Well, maybe it's not in this episode. I think I saw it on another separate clip. You know how Owen loves to bring pieces of information outside of the episode. Anyways, what's her name? Alexis says she doesn't cook, and it is clear that she's telling the truth. She says she does. She doesn't have a lot of time on her hands. She's a woman on the go, and it even seemed like she don't even know how to cook, right? And clearly, Ron was not feeling that. On the other hand, Alexis was also not feeling Ron's whole thing about not being so religious. And I can understand how Alexis feels, and I understand how Ron is at the same time because I'm a little bit on Ron's side as it pertains to that. But then, the two of them are just playing games at this point. I don't think that Ron is feeling Alexis, and I don't think Alexis is feeling Ron. I think Chrysanthemum is more suited to Ron, but Ron is a whole annoying spirit that I really did not like from day one, right? So that was the date between Alexis, her ex, which I thought was very cute, and Ron. Okay. The other date was with Vernisha and her ex and Joel. No, Vernisha was wearing this leather suit. Oh my gosh. She knows how to use her sex appeal. And clearly she was very sexy in this dress. I think Vernisha is very confident about what she brings on the outside, and that hence her whole thing about, finding someone who is not just attracted to what she has on the outside, but also what she has to offer as a woman. I kind of expected her ex to seem to be the type of person he seems on camera. He doesn't seem to be somebody with a lot of substance, right? Although I'm judging based off of looks, but the ex definitely didn't give me that mature vibe that Joel gives. So I can see why she is attracted to Joel, because one, Joel also brings the sexy, but he also brings a level of maturity that her ex or other men that she has dated has not given. All right. But it was a overall good setup. I was wondering what the hell was Joel wearing that hat for. He looked like grandfather in it. I don't know when wear that for. But his style of dressing is kind of, on the eclectic side. So I guess that is right up his stream with him half naked, chest always out. Anyways, where was I? Where was we? So, in the date between Vernisha, her ex, and Joel, Joel also brought up. I like the fact that Joel was comfortable around the other guy too. I have to give that to Joel. Joel seems to be a person who is comfortable. He's a socialite. He's comfortable being in social scenes with different types of people. Not everybody is like that, and you will see with David and Goliath that some men are kind of intimidated in the presence of other men, right? Anyways, Joel then go ask about does the ex think that Bernicia is a little bit too clingy? No, me kind of never like the fact that Joel used that term or had to bring that up in front of her ex. But I guess, Vernisha, you can't have the cake and eat it, because you go tell the guys that you are territorial. So I guess it was fair game for Joel to ask your ex that. So all of that the cake there, or that pie, and you have to eat it, Vernisha, because you were wrong to go bring that up to Joel in the first place. So I give that L to you. All right. Before we get to Liz, Amber went on a date with her ex. Kyra also went on a date with Jason and introduced Jason to her ex, who was on camera, um, live streaming or whatever you call it. No, Kyra's ex didn't seem like someone that I would have thought that Kyra would have dated. Him full of tattoo. I don't know, but something was just, it didn't never seem like, well, Kyra is young, so maybe I have to look at it that way. She is young, and so whomever she's dating, they are going to give off that vibe. So she clearly is not into persons who are older than her, right? She's more of dating within her age group. But in any case, it was an okay date. Jason got asked about the finances. I think Jason is saying that he's clearly out of his league for wanting to date Kyra, because Kyra is clearly a high maintenance woman. And so money is going to be an issue for him. So Imani's teacher salary can't live up to Kyra and, the brands and the lifestyle that Kyra leads. So, and I think that was probably the problem with AJ too. Maybe AJ look at it and say, no, sir, I cannot compete with this woman. So, him never care about the fact that Kyra was going to see it as being the worst date, because he decided not to pay for the meal. But I think AJ didn't want to pay for the meal, because him said, look here, it don't make sense me go broke my pocket when this woman have so much more money than me. anyways, we always get off topic. Go back to the topic now. Amber and her date with her ex. We discovered that Amber's ex was or is bisexual, right? And that was one of the reasons why she ended that relationship with the ex. Mm. That says a lot right there. And she said she would never do it again. I'm glad to hear that she said that. And maybe at a later time I will take up that topic again. Now the interesting part of this episode was in fact, oh, what happened here? I'm trying to bring something up, guys. It's not showing. The interesting part of the entire date was when Liz met up with her ex and what's his name? David. And that's when things kind of took a turn for me in the entire episode. I'm going to talk more about that meeting between David, Liz, and Clarence, who was Liz's ex-boyfriend, maybe on another stream. But briefly to say that I think in this scenario, I would say that Liz was very calculating. Liz wanted to embarrass David, and she accomplished that. You know, I don't see why Liz invited David to that meeting to meet her ex, because clearly Liz was not feeling David anymore, and she had her eyes set on Jason. So I can only interpret that the only reason why Liz invited David was because she wanted the ex to kind of put David in his place. Of course, they both had a fight over Liz. They both had a fight. Liz was there sitting down quite not with no remorse. You know, she didn't feel any way about putting David through what she put him through. And it says a lot about Liz's character, right? Why would she, bring that topic up to her ex? I would think that that is something, if you're having some type of communication problem with David, that you would have spoken directly to David. And David did in fact say that he would have expected that you would have gone to him and speak to him about it. Not to say that David was right either, because at the end of the day, you saw that David was upset about you kissing Jason, and you went and you spoke to him in private. David had no reason to speak about that in the presence of his friends. But I can see the mistake in judgment in that he did probably thought that you would not have minded because he was with his friends and he was introducing you to his friends, meaning he wanted you to be a part of his life and a part of his friend's life. So he chose you to meet with them. He could have chosen Kyra, because later we get to find out that, guess what? Kyra too is also feeling David. So certain things were happening behind the scenes that, would have sparked an interest. We just did not get an opportunity to see that, right? We didn't get an opportunity to see that on camera as yet. But before I go any further, I just want to ask you guys to like the video, right? Go ahead, leave a comment about some of the things that I said. Do you do you agree with what I'm saying? And if you agree, say so. And if you don't, say so too. But I would appreciate if you would, drop a line. No, Clarence, I call him Goliath, the whole Goliath in the whole situation, because Clarence came in with guns a blazing, Clarence did not give us, did not um feel that he was in the wrong, but he was in the wrong. And in fact, I think Liz is the one who kind of set up set up Clarence against David. Before David even stepped into the meeting, into the meet and greet, Liz, with her damsel in distress voice, brought to Goliath that she needed some form of protection because here it was that David, you know, did not make her feel safe. Hmm? How could Liz bring this to her ex's attention? I don't think that the exes all, finished with the relationship between himself and Liz. And David was right to ask, David was right to ask that question. When was the last time that you were intimate? Of course, Liz is thinking that is because she kissed Jason while David is asking the question. But that may be partially why he asked the question. But he had a right to ask that question because if you are meeting somebody for the first time and the person is so, aggressive towards you in wanting to find out, make it clear that he has a problem, he has certain concerns, and this man is not your father, this man is your ex. So how come he's so invested? So David want to know what is going on. Is it that you were an ex last week? So the man right if you ask that the question there. So the man come out swinging, like him a Goliath. And next week we're going to find out if David in fact conquered Goliath, if David gets to remain to fight another day, right? Because we see that, yes, although I am kind of taking up for, David, we see that, you are not allowing or you're not listening to what Liz is saying to you. And you want to be in control. You want to be the one to always be speaking and others listening to you. So you can't be like that. You have to give in order to get. You have to listen in order for someone to listen to you, right? Anyways, the man went and asked David how him feel about betraying her. And of course, David did try to address the situation with Liz by saying to her, no, you could have come to me, if you did have a problem. I would have sat and I would have listened to you. And I think that was good of David to try to, make peace with the situation. But Liz, she was not having it, right? She was not having it. And she wanted to embarrass David, as I said, right? She wanted to bring the man down in front of her friend because David did the same thing to her. It was clear as day, right? And David walked away saying, but we grown. We are grown people. And if you had a problem with me, you could have come to me. Yeah, and she talking about this was something that I noticed too, where she was saying that she went to David in confidence to tell David that she had kissed Jason. Is it in confidence that you went to him? Cause it can't be confidence if you will always say you are kissed Jason. You will always say you kiss him, so it wouldn't be a secret, right? You're on a dating show. It is going to be shown. So you going to David to tell David that you had in fact kissed Jason. You're just trying to get ahead of the story and to paint your own narrative like you are this sweet innocent person, right? Because this is what you have been doing. What you have been doing, Liz. You are saying that David, you can't trust David because he's one thing in private and another thing in public. But that's exactly what you're doing to Liz. Hmm? So maybe it's a match made in heaven. But we really feel the real match for you, Liz, is your ex-boyfriend or ex-man because that man seemed like God did just carve him out especially for Liz. God did just carve him out for Liz because look on him. Him have on one solid chain round him neck with the cross. Him dressed in a all black, right? The man is well put together. Him say him not back down half and nothing because here what him no know how to be weak. And that is the type of person that Liz needs to. Liz needs somebody to be ahead of her because she seems to be very manipulative. Yeah, I can sense it. Some people are going to be swayed by the little cute face. But you see those cute face people, many of those cute face people, they aren't loyal. As much as David having problems, them, Liz have her own problems, them too, right? But tell me how you guys think about the review. This is it for me. As I said, this is the third time I'm trying to upload. I want to hear the comments from you guys, what you think about the episode. As I said, if you like it, go ahead, like the video, subscribe. I'm waiting. Anyways, bye.